I'm gonna steal this deco and then place it into another level.
Can you find my toes, Jim Jams? Here they are!
I think I'm gonna go back to my connector design. What's good, y'all? I am Robocoin, and today I'm just gonna tell you how we built Shaq O Lantern, me and Team Quack. Dang, this level is so old. First up, we got Ronx's part, the first part in the level. If I'm being honest, I'm really surprised this part survived. And to tell you why, I'm just gonna show you what his old part looked like.
Aw, damn it.
Yeah, so whoever built his gameplay built it on the ground, when I think that threw Ronx off because he probably wanted it in the air. This part got moved all the way into the air, some stuff got removed, and it was very empty to say the least. And to demonstrate that, I'm gonna remove literally everything that I've added. I added the glow lasers, I added these trees, these rocks that have the fade effect in them. There were bricks in the background, but I'm not gonna find them. I couldn't find an old copy. I built these pumpkins. I believe I did the moves.
Who put this thing together? Me! That's who! Who do I trust? Me!
I take credit for polishing this whole part, otherwise it would look ugly.
Can you find my toes, Jim Jams? Here they are!
Now we are on to my part, which I believe to be the first part ever where I made rotating decorated objects, which was really cool of me to do at the time. Let me move this down. This was in 2.1, by the way, so I had to be picky with my objects that I used to make it look as close as possible to the real thing. Hitboxes. No hitboxes. These are 3D lines. I'm so smart. The glow that I added on top of this may also look ugly as well, but I don't know. First time doing this, I didn't know how to properly do that effect. Magic theme. I was told that this was a good block design for branching out of the connectors I usually did. I think I was probably told the colors were okay. I don't think any changes really had to be made to this part. I popped off with this one. Cool stuff in the background like these houses, the trees, the second set of trees behind it. I guess you could have your own opinion on the glow designs that I made back then. For this collab, I'd say it did the job. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was an update after the official video went up, and I decided to add this. If Gus didn't have the low taper fade, it would be close to what I look like. Not close at all. Anyways, let's move on to Sigun's part. I think this was my favorite part in the level. It is now. Really cool looking part. Definitely one of my favorite, possibly my favorite. Also, let me just mention it right now. I did optimize the entire level, but I don't have an old copy to guess how much objects I removed from each part, so I'm just gonna go based off of memory here. I probably didn't have to optimize much from this part, mostly because I couldn't really find much to optimize. Mainly just the screen glow. Glow creators tend to have those unoptimized, especially 2.1. That was a struggle for when I was playing on tablet. It was a struggle to run this part. The max amount of frames that I could get on my tablet is 60, and it didn't always hit that, especially when recording. I got a Lenovo tablet, not the best performing tablets, not even average, probably below average. I also merged the whole level. I remember that. So that means I made this transition. This was not auto before. Now we move on to XZ's part. This is XZ's new style. Very difficult for me to describe. If I optimize anything from here, it probably was just the screen glows again. Not much I could optimize, but I tried. And now that we're at the drop, we move on to the first anomaly ever, Revue's part. This is so hard to play. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be able to play this. 14K, only including the gameplay for this part. That's crazy. When polishing the old parts, I remember what I was pissed off about. Just a lot of terrible shit layering that Revue used to do. The elephant in the room, the 3D. This is not how you do it. You could just immediately tell how he copied and pasted these block designs around after he just made all of them, probably for the bottom. He selected this one, flipped it. Yeah, Yep, yeah, this perfectly lines up with this structure, so it proves my point right. That's like exactly what he did. I think these monsters in the background are copied from Opry's part, but we'll get to that. I don't know, this is just what you would have gotten from Revue back in the day. Him getting cloud 24/7 was low-key funny though. Eventually an update was made for this level, this part, and King's basically just like kept all of the deco used, but just made his own gameplay on top of it. Probably I tweaked it a little here because I don't know, this UFO was really AIDS. I remember I made this. We did gameplay, Revue plus Robocoin. Anyways, I don't really have much to say about this part. It's bad, but so is this level. Now we move on to King's and Vexix's part. Really hard to tell. I'm assuming King's first made this part, maybe Vexix revamped it. Other way around, no idea, and I really don't feel like looking through the messages in chat to find out. I could be wrong, but did I add these two objects in here for slopes that would just look default like this? I think I probably did, because these are just default slopes. Now we're at Eclipse's part, which was the laggiest of them all. I had to optimize everything in this part, and I managed to do it on mobile on a lagging tablet. I literally could not play this part. If I could, I think it was at so little FPS, like 5, 10. Editor Robocoin here. I low-key really want to show you what I mean by optimized a lot. Alright, first up we have these screen glows. This large brought it down to 20 objects. This was like in the 100 for each piece of screen glow, because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. I know it's hard to tell, but and then there's Eclipse's corner glows, which easily stacked up. Look at this, 36 objects for a corner piece of glow alone. And then once you select all the corner glows throughout this part, this many objects for corner glow alone. At least it still adds something in 2 ways. I mean, it's all good now because I can run Eclipse's part pretty fine now that I have a new PC. But man, back when this came out, yeah, no, I just couldn't. But practice makes perfect, and he's a good creator now, so check out his other creations if you want to. I do remember my gameplay being bugged after just it being decorated. Some moving objects didn't match up, especially like around this area. Put basically every glow piece on LDM and called it a day. I forgot I made the LDM too. I definitely remember doing it for this part. A lot of the other parts I didn't really have to add much to the LDM. Now we have Heshi's part, which I didn't really change anything in here. I thought it was cool. It was surprisingly one of the more easier parts to merge. I did a lazy black screen effect here, but I did just offer to finish off a turtle for Heshi, which means I have to make all the transitions as well. I should get to that sometime. I really need to. Next up we have Opry's part. I think I probably added these things all around here. I think I enhanced these monsters in the background, because I know Revue stole these from Opry. I think these monsters in the background are copied from Opry's part, but we'll get to that. I think I probably did some subtle things like making the glow lasers in the background brighter, making stuff more noticeable. You could say that's what I did. Next up we have one of Rhyr's earliest ever parts. His really old style. This is crazy to look back on. Yeah, you could tell this is all old, but you got what you received back then. I think the only thing I changed for this part, probably fixing some colors that probably got bugged during merging, I believe. Start off with a red pulse that usually is supposed to be pink. I think I did the same here as well. Okay, just assume that for literally every part, I optimized their screen glow. Like literally every part. Please just imagine that, because I know I would have. Black screen transition with some glow going up at the start. Now we got Vexix's part. I don't think this needed to be changed either. I didn't really touch it. Even back then, Vexix was goated. Definitely one of my favorite parts. But I think that title might still go to Sigun for me, no matter how clean this is. Then you got the end screen. I added to this end screen the tree, the icon, and the Shaq O Lantern text. And these texts I didn't make. Everything else I did make, like the clouds.
Clouds? Clouds? Clouds?
The clouds, the house, the 2 basic looking hills right here, I added those. And the pulses in the background. And I don't really regret it. I guess this was just my way of gaining experience back then. I'm volunteering to optimize, polish, merge. Anyways, now, I want to give one more piece of lore to this. It got unlisted glitch when it was updated, but I think some time ago recently, maybe a few months ago, it was able to be made public again thanks to a mod that I forgot. Anyways, now I'm just gonna play it even though I beat it again. I'm just gonna beat it again. Memory lane. There we go. Alright, let me go look at who made Vexix's gameplay. Now we know. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to quit the game because your gameplay was buggy as shit. Editors know it's likely that Happier by Z Thunder, me and Vexix probably isn't gonna come out. If it will, then not for a while. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna steal this deco and then place it into another level. Genius, right? No? Well, I'm doing it anyway. See ya. I think I'm gonna go back to my connector design.